Hey folks, and welcome into the Horns 24/7 YouTube channel. Joined today by Horns 24/7 recruiting analyst Hank South. Hank, even on the recruiting side of things, it's a big day on Saturday. Texas and Oklahoma at the Cotton Bowl for the 119th time. Regardless of who wins this game, what implications come out of it for each side?
Yeah, it's everything's on the table. The winner of this game probably in the driver's seat on the Big 12 championship, driver's seat to the college football playoff, it's in the national spotlight. College game day is going to be there. I know Josh Pate's going to be there for 24/7 Sports and CBS. So kids are watching. They're going to tune into this one. It's an 11 a.m. kick. There's going to be eyes on it. Winner of this, they're going to get that positive buzz. They're going to get that, momentum rolling. Obviously, both teams already have momentum rolling. I think Texas a little more so, considering what they've done early this season. But, winning a game like this with the level of hype, the level of attention, both these teams are, heading into the SEC next season. This is an important recruiting cycle for them to, kind of close out this 2024 class, their first entering the SEC. So, it's important, you don't want to lay an egg in this kind of game. Texas will certainly be ready. They're going to have guys in the stands watching. Hopefully they can put on a good performance for them. It'll certainly be impactful in terms of, finishing out this 2024 class and then working towards 2025 and beyond as well.
So I want to touch on the 2024 class here a little bit more. Two of the biggest remaining targets on the board, Ryan Wingo and Kobe Black, the five-star wide receiver and cornerback duo, obviously going to be keeping a big eye on this game. Texas leads both crystal balls for those two prospects. Do you think that a Longhorn victory could maybe shut the door on those recruitments, or do you think they need to still see a little bit more?
Yeah, I don't think either of them really need to see a little bit more. I think they're pretty comfortable with, what they've seen from Texas. I know there was a lot of, talk about Ryan Wingo in Austin a few weeks ago when Texas played Wyoming, and, the deep ball just wasn't really connecting in that game, and it took a while for Texas to really get going and pull away. I don't think he's really concerned that much about that because, the week prior he saw them, kind of take down Alabama through the air and with their passing attack. So Ryan Wingo, I think is pretty impressed with what he's seen from Texas overall. But if they go out against Oklahoma and Adonai Mitchell has a big game again, Xavier Worthy has a big game, who we've seen can have big games in the Red River Shootout. That'll certainly help. He's going to be at Missouri this weekend, so I'm not sure how much of the game he's going to catch as it's happening. So, I'm sure he's going to watch highlights and see that. So I think it would certainly help. I think Texas is still in a good position for him against Missouri. So we'll see what happens there. And then Kobe Black, same thing. I think he's very happy with what he's seen from Texas. I think he has a very close relationship with the staff, Terry Joseph, the cornerbacks coach, Steve Sarkisian. He's been to Austin a bunch of times. He's supposed to come to a game later this season after being tentative on the visitors list last weekend. So I don't think this game is make or break for either of them. Certainly if you win, like we just mentioned earlier in the show, that's going to be a huge help. So definitely want to put on a performance for those guys those are probably the two biggest targets remaining on the board for Texas. Texas is going to have the opportunity to do so.
And last one for you here, Hank. Looking ahead to the class after 2024, the 2025 class. Right now, KJ Lacey, the quarterback out of Alabama, the only commit for Texas. Would a Longhorn victory maybe move the needle on some guys in the 2025 class? And if so, who are some names to keep an eye on if the Longhorns come away with a victory in the Cotton Bowl?
Yeah, I think you could probably circle any DFW Houston area recruit that has offers from Texas and Oklahoma and say, these are guys to watch. If Texas is beating Oklahoma, or just in general, I think Texas has done a good job with these guys. Kobe Sellers, the 4-star cornerback from Pearland, that could be a recruitment that comes down to Texas and Oklahoma. I know Baylor's in it; he has ties to LSU, but I think Texas and Oklahoma are two programs very involved right there for him. Could that push the needle? Sure, maybe, but I don't, I'm not sure when he's going to make a decision, probably sometime in the summer, in 2024. So that'll be one we're keeping an eye on. A guy that visited this past weekend to Austin for the Kansas game, Elijah Bo Barnes, 4-star linebacker from Dallas. He's going to be in attendance for the Red River Shootout this weekend. And he's a guy that's looking at both programs that could maybe move the needle for him. Another guy who hasn't really narrowed his list down, but Texas and Oklahoma seem to be two very common themes when it comes to talking about his recruitment. You look at running backs like Jordan Davison, the 4-star running back from Mater Dei High School out in California. I think Texas is in a really good spot there, but Oklahoma's recruited him hard. Alabama's recruited him hard. He's a national level recruit. So that beating Oklahoma, beating one of his top schools would certainly probably just aid even more so to where things stand. So you could circle a lot of these underclassmen. There's going to be eyes on this game. Kids are going to be watching what they're doing, what their playmakers are doing. How the offenses are performing, how the defenses are playing, and they're going to take that into account when they're making their decisions here probably in the next year.